Hello everybody. I'm sorry about the content warning, but that's unavoidable if you're Native American. My name is Manuel Anthony Marcano, though that's just kind of a name that I took when I was younger. My actual name is Maneco Manaquero. I'm the leader of the Manaquero tribe. We're located in what most people know as Puerto Rico, but we call it Puerto Rico. Today I want to talk to everybody about Native American stereotypes and why they're damaging and what you can do to just kind of sidestep them. And I want to start off with showing everybody a video that's very deeply ingrained in everyone's childhood.
Peter Pan, mighty warrior, saved Tiger Lily, made Big Chief keep glad. Well, he certainly doesn't look glad.
Make Peter Pan eat Big Chief. You now, little flying eagle. Teach him, pale-faced brother, all about Red Man.
Good. This should be most enlightening.
What makes the Red Man red? When did he first say us?
Why did he ask you how?
Why does he ask you how?
Why does he ask you how? What the Indian didn't know, all things that he know now. But the Indian he sure learned a lot. Let's go from asking how. We translate for you. Panda means what panda means, and Ganda means that
One more dance. Oh, get him firewood.
When did he first say oh? When did he first say oh? In the ancient book it say when first great Mary's fall, he came out with the big mouth when he saw his mother-in-law. What made the Red Man red? What made the Red Man red? Let's go back a million years to the very first Indian prince. He kissed some maid and started to blush, and we've all been blushing since. They're crying right from the headland, the real true story of Red Man, no matter what's been written or said.
Now you know why the Red Man's red.
Oh, get him firewood.
Squaw no get firewood. Squaw go home.
25 years later, that video still pisses me off. Well, every single thing that's in that video, the misogyny of telling Wendy that she can't dance, the fake story, the characterizations, all of it is stuff we still deal with. I mean, we have the issues of Native women being kidnapped, being sold into slavery along the lakes. We have the issues of kids disappearing, and we can't even get people to recognize that an ethnic slur that is a bounty on our lives is an ethnic slur. So when you get into games, it's even worse. And something that that I basically haven't seen in a video game at all is like a very good representation of native people. The best so far has probably been Assassin's Creed, and even that has its problems. I mean, they did their best, they went and talked to people from the tribe, but there were points where, points I'm going to be talking about, that they kind of screwed up on. So I'm going to offer a couple points here that should just basically just always be avoided. So first, I want to talk about Native American cultures, as in more than one. I'm a Taino, and as a Taino, there are certain things that I do that are completely different from Ojibwe or any other tribe. And if you're going to make a game about France at the turn of the century, not everyone is going to be wearing a kilt. And at the same time, you're not going to put a Taino in eagle feathers because we're not eagles in the Caribbean. We have macaw. I have a macaw crown. Cool. We never use tomahawks. We have like these stone hammers. We don't know what a peace pipe is. Like, if you're going to make a game that has one of these cultures in it, you have to recognize that they are different cultures. And I actually want to highlight that real quick, because there was one of my favorite comic book artists spoke about it.
Dude, my biggest issue generally in writing mainstream comics is if you write a black character, he represents blackness, and that's ridiculous. That's way too much, way too complex, way too much weight for any character, any single character to hold. Whereas if you write a white character, he's that guy. You can be Superman, you can be Lex Luthor. But if you're black, you're all black people. Good guy, bad guy, anything in between. So one of the things that we tried to do was present a range of characters, different socioeconomics, different backgrounds, different ages, as much of a range of opinions as you can in a little tiny model of the world. Not even as much range as there is in my own family, but certainly more range than we had ever seen.
The thing about range is, you look at the Native American characters in video games, and you think of, in terms of playable characters, Turok, and that's about it. Turok or, Connor Ratunakadon from Assassin's Creed, or that guy from Brave, whose name I don't even remember because that game is awful. But they all are pan-Indian. Every single one of them. If you're playing as a Native American, the guy done is half. But you're always playing as, the stereotype of an Indian. You're not ever playing as an actual Indian. Which, I mean, if you want to get into that word of Indian, like, I'm not Indian, I'm a Taino, but I'm not even a Native American. I'm from the Caribbean. Now, moving on, because I'm probably going to go on a rant about that. Since not all cultures are the same, and the universal representations shouldn't be the same, you should also just try to avoid stereotypes in general. So, I mean, that also means within context. So if a tribe or a culture does have eagle feathers, and they do have, spirit journeys, maybe not use them if you're not using them. So like Assassin's Creed. When you're Altair in the first game, I'm sorry, this is going to have spoilers. When you're Altair in the first game, he touches the Apple of Eden, and he can see the past, present, and future, and he has this, understanding of it all. So you then play as Ezio in the second game. He touches the Apple of Eden, he has this understanding, past, present, future, the whole deal. Now, Lieutenant Kadon, Connor, touches the Apple of Eden, and he goes on a magical spirit journey with his eagle counterpart. And they have to dumb all of this language down to him. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is this, same family, he's got the same powers, he's got the same everything. Why is he the one that's going on this journey? Like, everyone else just saw the future. Cool. Why why is he the one that's singled out? And I think, like, yeah, that exists within that culture, absolutely. But why was it used? You know, it was used because of the fact that he's Native American. My third point is, again, aimed at Gun, or games like it. So in Gun, you play as, you know, this cowboy. The government wants you to go. I don't remember the story. It's so stupid. It's not worth remembering. But he goes on this journey to massacre tons of Blackfoot, tons of Yaqui, tons of Cherokee, who are portrayed as a horse culture, which they're not. And, you know, at halfway through the game, he finds out, oh, I'm half Blackfoot. It's all right. All these guys I killed, okay. You know, since I'm one of them now, it was all right. And then there's these psychotic, angry natives coming at you the whole time. And it's like, come on, they're not even human. Like, when making a game, just try to avoid the savage Indian, because that's not what really happened. You know, there were a bunch of really pissed off people. If you're going into history, there are a bunch of really pissed off people who, you know, are getting their land stolen. So they aren't savage. I mean, many of them knew what, you know, democracy was. Now, this next one is actually really super important to me. Do not use, if you're going to use a culture, you should understand their ways of being. So, for example, civilization is all about taking land, getting resources, using resources. That's not something that exists within a lot of the cultures that they portray. I mean, a big thing, I believe they use Ojibwe in one of them, or Iroquois, and a big thing in both of those cultures is land stewardship, which means, you know, maintaining the land, which means, you know, using those resources and putting them back into the land. So it's not about expansion at all. And they were able to exist on this for such a long time. And, you know, if you make a game about using stuff up and you put Native Americans in it, it's like, now they're not thinking that way. You're not making a game for them. You're not making a game they're going to play. The same can be said of a lot of other cultures. My own culture, Taino. I mean, there's different types of Taino. I had a very vehement argument last week with another Taino chief, but within my tribe, we speak a very different dialect from normal Taino. In our dialect, there are no gendered words at all. So if you're going to make a game that has a Taino in it, and you set the main character to be a man who is like, talks about his wife and all of these things, like, that would be totally out there. I mean, I inherited being chief from my grandmother, who I will always believe is a 10 times better chief than me. And when you might notice when you hear me speak that I never say he, I never say she, I never say her. I never ever say those words, because the concept of gender had to be explained to me as a teenager when I came to New York. You know, so if you're making a game, you have to be mindful of these things. You have to be mindful of you know, even within gameplay, and it will make your game better. Absolutely. One of my last few points is we still exist. Like, you don't have to make a game about history. Put it like Native Americans in it. You know, I'm here, right here. I know everything about, you know, I know a lot about Taino culture. I know a lot about Taino language. I know a lot about, you know, Mayan culture. I know a lot about, you know, Mexican culture. I know Nahuatl. I speak better Nahuatl than I do English. You know, if you're gonna search these, if you want to make a game, you can make a game now that has a Native American character in it. You don't have to make a historical game. And if you do make a historical game, you know, go and talk to the people who experienced it. Okay, my last point is where things get a little unpleasant. like I mentioned earlier, you know, within the Native American community, we have a lot of issues. We have a lot of issues specifically with assault. So I mean, of the Native American developers I know, and of the Native Americans in general that I know, you know, I can count on one hand the number that have not been sexually assaulted, myself included. So the fact that that exists and we have all of these games that contribute to that culture is disheartening. Within these games, you will always, every single time, see the half-breed hero has a native mother and a white father. And this is pushing a colonial power fantasy of, you know, you'll never see a male figure, you'll never see a dad Indian, ever. And you know, you'll see characters like Tala from Darkwatch, who is this sultry vampire character who's in Playboy. You'll see characters like Humbawamba, who goes from being this like shaman to eventually being like Mumbo Jumbo's like housewife. It's a big problem, and if you're going to make a game that has Native Americans in it, don't sexualize anyone in it. Like, it's a problem we have a really big problem with it, and you're gonna make someone real mad. Quickly before I end, I'd like to talk about some of the other Native American game designers. I mean, I myself have worked within the AAA space for a while. I worked at 2K Games and Rockstar, minor roles. Now I'm the programmer, the only programmer, on Treachery and Beatdown City. The Elizabeth Eileen LaPonce is a PhD that works within the game sphere, that makes a lot of videos, like she helped put together my talk. And you know, if you need to talk to someone about getting in contact with the tribe, she's the person to do it. Daniel Starkey, who's doing a series for Gawker. It's like a number series that's really cool. He helped me write this talk, and he's, again, another person you should speak to. And finally, the person who kind of got me into games to start with. My first adventure into programming was modding Doom. And when I found out and met John Romero, and he told me, you know, his experiences as a Yaqui Cherokee and his experiences, you know, being Native American, yeah, I really look up to the guy. So, I mean, a lot of people don't know that Doom, that id was one of the first Native American-owned companies since he co-founded it. You know, thank you for listening, and sorry I had to include the unfortunate bit at the end. Thank you.